Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brendan with Evoke Bike. We are back with another video about crit racing, and it actually is applicable to any type of road racing. And this is for people that are coming in like 7th to 15th. If you're winning a ton, if you're a Cat 1 or a pro, this video might not be for you. So the preface is Intelligentsia is coming, and a lot of people are going out there for a week-long crit festival in Chicago. Big races for any category. If you can go and win, that's amazing. I was talking to an athlete, and she was telling me she had some questions, and she's like, she's a pretty experienced racer. She's raced for a few years, but done a lot of races. She's getting points on the way to her 2. She's on a pretty predominant team. And she started talking. The preface of the conversation was that positioning was her issue. Kind of surprised me, but wanted her to kind of talk through a few things. And it's like, how do I move in this situation? Is it okay to pass people this way? What about this way? And we were just talking about creating space, earning the respect, being in the front, not being in the washing machine in the middle where it's just like a lot of melee and chaos. Definitely not being in the back. She's strong enough to ride on the front. So we start talking, and she's describing these scenarios where it's really a positioning thing. And I'm like, okay, 2 weeks ago, though, you had a crit and you were in 15th and you surfed your way up and sprinted to 4th. I said, how is that different? And she kind of thought through it and didn't have an answer. And so I kind of kept like prodding a little bit, like it doesn't really, people that are in 15th that suck at positioning don't end up in 4th because that's a pretty chaotic sprint. So she has the ability to maneuver. What's really going on here? And the more we talked and peeled this back a little bit, she's like, well, I really just lack a lot of confidence in times of if I find myself in the middle of the pack and there's a lot of people around me, that's kind of nerve-wracking. So we'll pause there. It is nerve-wracking. You're riding at 30 miles an hour with people in your lap. Your brain is processing a ton. You're physically going ham. It is an intense situation. Then she made the comment, but I also lack confidence when I know that I'm strong enough, but if I find myself attacking and say I go off the front, when I'm in that like redlining zone, I get kind of nervous. I overthink it, and I usually end up like pulling the plug. Knowing she does hard intervals. She knows herself enough to know what redlining feels like and what's sustainable versus when you're going to blow up. And really what this all boils down to, this could be a 3-minute podcast. This thing right here, confidence. She does not believe in herself yet because she hasn't won. And the more we talked about it, then there's dynamics on her team where since she's a 3 looking to upgrade to 2, she's not racing with all the women that are doing the 1-2 race. She's feeling pressure to upgrade. And so she's starting to think, I got to get this many points. I got to go to this race and get this many points. That is a recipe for not getting points. I've talked about this briefly, and maybe I need to go in on more of these soft skills. So with this being the shortest podcast, not only do you have to believe in yourself, but you need to change your frame of reference. She is worried that if she goes out the front and she blows up, she'll come in 50th. Honestly, if you come in 2nd in 3 years, no one's going to remember. If you come in 1st, they probably still won't. Who won Intelligentsia? 2017. Cat 2, any race. Who won the pro race? No idea. Unless it was my friend, unless it was me, unless it was my teammate, no clue. Who came in 20th or who came in 50th? No idea. Guess who knows? No one, except for someone that looks it up on a stat chart right now. Stop worrying about coming in dead last. Start being concerned with rolling the dice. She says, I hear that thing that's like, hey, I should go. And then I think, well, what if this happens? What if I get off the front and I'm redlining? What if nobody comes with me? What if I get counterattacked? When you hear that thing telling you to go, that's your racer instinct. That's when you need to shut everything else off and you need to go. And then as you go, add some logic to it. The racer instinct sees something and tells you to go. There's 5 laps to go. Clearly, you're not going to go full blast for a minute and explode. That would be dumb because you wouldn't make it to the finish line. But your logic tells you, I'm going. Look around. Is anyone coming with you? Is this a solo move? Are people bridging with you? How hard do you need to go? establish the break, and roll the dice. Really go hard enough that you think you can get enough momentum away from the group that then when you settle into your threshold, or if you can still go super threshold, 110, 120%, you're not looking at your power meter. This is all by feel. Can you stay away? Believe in yourself. Roll the dice, because guess what? Even if you get caught, learning from that situation will make you better down the road. Otherwise, in 2 years, you'll be watching this same video having done nothing, not grown, still coming in 11th. No one's going to remember that. And that's not a diss, but I want you to put yourself out there. I want you to believe in yourself. Now, I'm not going to tell Sally that she can go win if she hasn't trained. This girl rides her bike. She trains. She does intervals. She is right there. It is this thing that is holding her back. So the corniest thing that I will tell you to go do, number one, when she goes to bed, I said, replay that race when you went off the front and you gave up, because there were actually people that she told me said, we thought you were gone. When people tell you they think you're gone and you gave up, how much does that suck? Replay that race, but with a different ending where you actually win. Visualize yourself winning. And then your homework one time before you fly to Chicago for Intelli, when you are out on a training ride, I want you to post up like you just won a bike race. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to feel so weird and awkward. And when I used to do this, and maybe I need to start doing it again because I haven't won that many races recently, I would look around and make sure nobody could see me. I would be like in the middle of nowhere outside of Memphis. I'd just be like, yo, oh my God, that feels good. I'm going to go win this bike race. This thing controls so much of the rest of us. And I'm telling you, 90% of you could benefit from believing in yourself more. If you're training and you're racing, you deserve to listen to that racer instinct and roll the dice. You will get better from it. Send me your podium picture when you crush it. Let's get it.